Welcome back, Money Teams. This is Mad Money Shot, sniffing out the college cheese as always. In today's video, we're going to talk about college football 26 news, or lack thereof, as we really haven't had any yet, but we should expect something very soon, probably Thursday or most likely Friday of this week, based off of the usual schedule that EA uses when it comes to releasing information about new games, based off the fact that last time that they released information when it came as far as a reveal trailer about college football 25, they put it out 2 months ahead of time. As the first official reveal trailer came out on May 17th, which was a Friday, and then the game later released about 2 months later on July 16th. And this is a pretty standard schedule when it comes to Madden as well, as they had their reveal trailer on June 20th, which was a Thursday, and then the actual game available about 2 months later on August 16th. So ultimately, that's pretty much their timeline, 2 months out, which is typically when they release the reveal trailer, and then they follow with a deep dive about whatever new features or functions they're trying to implement into the game. And then before the game starts, or maybe a couple of weeks before the game comes out, they start to release ratings and stuff like that. Things like overall, speed ratings, all those things typically come out in that order. Well, we're officially 7 weeks or less than 7 weeks away from the release of college football 26, marking that EA is officially behind schedule when it comes to putting out information. And in this video, I'm going to go over why, as well as what I think we should expect from the reveal trailer that will most likely drop on Friday. But before I do, as always, if you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. Other than that, let's get right into the video. Now, there's been information out there for a while that a May 2025 full reveal was expected. So ultimately, I feel like we're probably going to get that at the end of this week, and I'm also going to go over what you should expect in the full reveal. Now, typically you get, when in a full reveal, you get some gameplay footage a little bit, although it's usually pretty doctored. It's not typically actual gameplay footage, it's just something that you get later on in the cycle, but you will get to see some ideas of what the new features might look like, and it's usually left open to interpretation. They don't give out too much information. They just want to get people excited and let people know that they're starting the normal news cycle, which they're eventually going to start doing things like deep dives. We will get more in-depth stuff about specific game modes like Dynasty, Road to Glory, and stuff like that, released throughout the month of June, as gameplay deep dives usually get into a little bit more about what's actually going to be new and implemented into the game. Now, as far as that part's concerned, I don't think you're actually going to see a ton of new features, based off the fact that last year had so many new features in the game that people are still getting used to. I mean, you can't expect game-changing massive features every year, because that's just not how it works. When you have a game that's being put out every year compared to a game that's being put out like every 10 years or every 10 years or longer, like you may get in other AAA titles, you can't expect the same amount of changes or the same amount of year to year as you would from a game that's been being worked on for like 5-10 years. So ultimately, I don't expect a ton of new features based on the fact that there were so many new features added last year. Things like the switch stick, which a lot of people struggle with, to the point where they had to add a switch stick delay, which gives you the option of whether you want to have it turned off completely or if you just want to have it a little bit slowed down, based on the fact that I know me personally, I was having a lot of issues where if I was trying to make adjustments before the play would start, that the switch stick function would come into an issue there based off of my opponent hiking the ball. The wear and tear system, you had things like the new passing system, the new revamped passing system, which also had its issues based off the fact that you really don't know what's the best passing mechanic to use. Still, I play both of these games for a living, and I still can't decide whether revamped passing or placement and accuracy, or placement or whatever. I still can't decide what's the best passing system, and I've gone over this in videos in the past. It would be nice, the only real feature that I would hope they would implement that I think is sorely needed is somehow finding a happy medium ground between the two best passing systems, which is revamped and placement and accuracy, as they both have their strengths and they both have their weaknesses. And it'd be nice if they could put together a passing system that combined the strengths of them both and basically took away the weaknesses. But I don't expect that in this cycle, because I'm sure they put a lot of time and energy into revamped passing. It is very popular. A lot of people like to use revamped passing, so I don't ultimately expect them to do too much as far as the mechanics of the game. What I do expect is them to try to basically revise and finely tune some of the functions and some of the game modes that they implemented into the 25 cycle, and I don't really expect a lot of new features, but I do expect them to talk like they're adding a lot lot of new features, because typically when they do copy and paste a game and they give you the exact same game with a roster update, they typically try to use a lot of wordplay to make it sound like they did something that they really didn't do. They'll say things like boom tech.
This is Field Sense powered by Boom Tech. Authentic one-on-one impacts fueled by physics.
Does this look like physics-based gameplay to you?
Where's his arm? Where's his arm?
Superimposes itself through his...
And gets it.
That is physically impossible! Boom Tech! Nonsense!
Or they'll say like dynamic flow system, or they'll use a lot of big words to try to make it sound like they really changed how this game performs or how this game plays.
The very joke we make every year, reselling you features years later when you forget it's there.
When in reality, it's really just them trying to tweak it and make it a little bit more authentic, which I'm totally cool with in this particular cycle. Because if I'm being honest, there was a lot of new stuff added in College Football 26 that we're still getting used to, and even EA is in the developing stage is still trying to tweak and make perfect. I went over a glitch in the new double man concepts that they have that a lot of people know about now, where basically if you run these new defenses where they're essentially doubling either the receivers or the tight ends or whatever, and there's two people manned to that, which is something that was not available in Madden 25 before they brought it out in College Football 25, that essentially the double man play art can glitch to the point where it lets you know whether the opponent is running or passing on offense. Things like that obviously still need to be worked out. It's cool that they have new defenses, even though these particular defenses to me aren't really that great and they really don't do much. So I think it'd be to the point where it'd be kind of greedy to expect more things added every year, and it's just not realistic. When you have a game that's behind the scenes being developed for like 10 years, then yeah, obviously the game's got to change quite a bit. But if it's being changed every year, they could really only tweak the formula or tweak the system. I don't think it's fair to expect like a brand new game every year if it's being released every year. It just doesn't work that way. So ultimately, I think that one of the reasons they haven't put out any information yet is because they don't really have a lot of new information to share. We just got a brand new game last year that was being developed for several years and had a lot of new features, and I feel like all we really expect this year around is for them to tighten the screws and to try to make this version that much better, especially when it comes to things like Dynasty mode, which had a lot of exploits that really made the game kind of hard to play fairly and competitively, to the point where you could really go get Travis Hunter off of Colorado, who's in the NFL right now. You didn't even have any more years of eligibility. There are ways to get him onto your team. There are ways to just completely make God squads in Dynasty because of all the exploits, and EA was trying to keep up pretty much the entire year. So I expect a lot of effort to be put into Dynasty, especially online Dynasty, because I think another feature that kind of sucks, other than the scheduling, which was an issue, was the fact that there's only 20 users in online Dynasty and it's not crossplay. So to me, they have to catch up with Madden, which had crossplay franchise mode implemented late into the 23 cycle, and it wasn't great. It had a lot of bugs, which is one of the reasons I think they didn't implement it into College Football 25. But I really feel like they have to put that into College Football 26 because a lot of people got used to that. I know me, I ran a subscriber league where I had 32 people in franchise in Madden on Xbox and PlayStation, and that worked out really well to a certain extent based off the fact that it was easy to group a pool together and get 32 users cross-platform. But at the end of the day, I also feel like they have to expand from 20 users to try to get up to like 32 users or even more, because when you have 134 college teams, it'd be nice to have 134 users, but I think that that's kind of ridiculous. I don't know if they'd be able to handle that, but that should be the goal. I don't think anybody, when you get into an online Dynasty or an online franchise mode, wants to play the computer. They want to play users all the time. That's the whole point of getting on and playing in an online Dynasty or an online franchise. And you also want the team building process to be as fair as possible, because people don't really want to police each other at that point. It just makes it a lot of headaches. So to me, Dynasty has a long way to go. I really didn't play Superstar mode or Road to Glory, which is what they call it in College Football 25. I really didn't play that too much, but that's something where they have to expand. It's been rumored that they're going to expand to more positions rather than just the four. I think it was only 4 positions last year. So that's something that I think is also something that we're probably going to see. But that's the entire point, is we're just going to see expansions on what was put into the game last year. Don't go into this reveal cycle expecting a ton of new features, because those new features were implemented over several years of development, and you're not going to have anything like that now. Although I do feel like I said, they're probably going to add some features and functions that really weren't available. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. Like I said, Thursday or Friday when this drops, I will most likely drop a reaction or try to break down some of the Easter eggs or some of the things that we're seeing. Because like I said, the reveal trailers don't necessarily explain everything. So I'll try to make a video about that when it happens. If you guys want to see that, make sure to be a subscriber. Other than that, I'll have some other videos that I made about information that we already know about college football 26 popping up on screen. So just click the links. And until next time, thanks for watching, man. Shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.